We're going to go down to page 60. So we're going to get through all this stuff. But getting back to how to measure, basically he just did EEGs to measure brain speed. And I guess you could call it computer speed. So we're going to go to page, I think it's page 60. Actually, it's page 59. All right, here we're talking about the edge effect. Basically, this is just talking about the neurotransmitters. There's 4 of them that they're talking about. This is just your brain chemistry. And these different neurotransmitters have different effects that we know of. And the edge effect, what that means is they're using, we're going to basically try to modulate or affect these neurotransmitters in your brain through multiple different ways. But the idea is this: fixing more than one part of the brain results in an exponential synergistic effect, and what they call the edge effect. So what that means, I mean, I'm sorry to bore you with some of the issues, but some of the specific issues, but I think we have to get through this or we're not going to understand what we're talking about. The breakdown in the brain starts with chemical loss of neurotransmitters. What that means is you lose these neurotransmitters and then your brain doesn't work right. It's kind of like having a virus on your computer. That virus gets in there and it slows way down. So the question is, do you want your brain to run fast, or do you want a virus on it and you want your brain slow? And I think the reason you're still listening is you don't want a slow brain. So basically we're looking at, there's catecholamines, which is the dopamine right here. There's acetylcholine, which is in this corner right up here. There's serotonin right here, and then there's GABA. And the specific issues here, you can see catecholamines result in decreased voltage, which is brain power. Acetylcholine causes significant decreases in brain speed, which is memory. And you can see that in Alzheimer's disease. Chemical loss causes intermittent headaches, palpitations, seizures, addiction, and manic depression. Big issue. Chemical loss of serotonin results in sleep disorders, mood disorders, irritable bowel syndrome, post-traumatic stress, and burnout. All right, we just went through a couple things real quick here, and just to introduce what's going on. So basically, our plan is going to be try to reverse problems that cause this issue. Also, maybe identifying which problems you have, which would lead you down the path to fix your specific problem. All right, now, in order to really understand what's going on in the brain, we've got to go back to this picture right here. This is really important because the key to reversing mental and physical decline is treating the brain. The brain is obviously the most important organ. It affects the functioning of the entire body. Now, what this picture is a picture of the autonomic nervous system. There's basically 2 nervous systems you have in your body. One's the gas and one's the brake. They're also called your parasympathetic and your sympathetic nervous system. The sympathetic is basically the gas, what makes it go. The parasympathetic is the brake, which slows it down. The important thing is that these 2 nervous systems are working together so that there's not a problem. Now, what makes these 2 nervous systems work together and regulates them is these neurotransmitters that we talked about in the edge effect. Also, I want to point out right here, hormones. So, now we have 2 facts. We have the neurotransmitters and the hormones that have to work together to help your nervous system work. Pretty simple. All right, so we're going to go down through his article and go into some more specific areas. Now, what I wanted to point out here is in this slide, brain and body repair mechanics. It's interesting over here on the left, we have the system, the dopamine, the serotonin, acetylcholine, and GABA. And then we have natural ways of fixing this. Dopamine, caffeine, reductio, rosio, and folic acid. But if you go over here to the right, there's also pharmaceutical. There's some medications that can help. And there's also hormone, testosterone, estrogen, DHE, and thyroid. Also, there's some lifestyle and electrical things you can do, which is weight bearing, exercise, teas, spices, cumin, etc. All right, the point of this is to kind of show you that you have choices. You don't have to just go purely medical with pharmaceutical. There's other things. And then we can even break this down even more. So what I did is, this is dopamine. We went general here, and then we can go down here to dopamine, and wow, look at this. We even can expand the natural even into more issues. Then we can get over here into more problems over here with what can affect this, which is cocaine, ecstasy, and mescaline. And then we can go down the acetylcholine system, and we can get down into LSD, mushrooms, and then we can go down into the GABA system, and we get into narcotics, ketamine, marijuana, quaaludes, sex for men, sex for women, aerobics. And then we get into the serotonin system, and we look at alcohol. All right, so why did I go through this system real quick? I wanted to point out that there's alcohol, which is serotonin. There's narcotic, which is GABA. There is mushrooms, LSD, which is acetylcholine. And there is cocaine and ecstasy, which is dopamine. So my point is, these different substance abuses can affect different parts of your brain and neurotransmitters and actually cause brain loss. So the opposite of that is apparently true as well, which means we can go in and take these other natural substances, which are of these, which can help support the cocaine craving. The one that we've seen documented is the phenylalanine, sometimes called DL-phenylalanine, which you can take. Thiamine is typically used for alcohol as well. Chromium is used in diabetes. Folic acid is used just about in everything. So you can see how important it is to have these levels where they need to be. Also, you know, the testosterone is important, estrogen is important, and I don't know if thyroid's in here. I don't really see the thyroid in here, but the real point of the anti-aging, or try to get one's person back on track, is you're really going to have to identify where your deficiencies are in your body in order to successfully rebuild your brain. The other term that he talks about is neurogenesis. So once again, the dopamine system, we see this. I want to get down into the where we have the synthroid, because I think we have that. Oh, actually, we're not seeing synthroid in here. Well, in any event, you can see how confusing this can get. And the number one question is for the viewer to say, well, which one do I do? And I think that's the point, is try to get through this and figure out, what can I do specifically to improve my brain? Or even better yet, what can my doctor do? And from being a physician, practicing physician, I see many patients come in and they have these problems all over the place. And finally figured out how to get through this and how to start applying these things. But you really got to look at some basic things that go on in the body. And I think we'll leave that to the next video. I would appreciate it if you'd ask me some questions, and then we'll try to get through to the next video. And hopefully we'll make this make a little bit more sense as we go.